All right, Richard, listen to me. Listen to me. I want to talk
I'm not
about
listening.
Not
I'm
take
not
your
listening.
There's a visual element to this potentially, so people can actually see this now.
Yeah, that I'm covering my hands with my ears. If we've recorded the Zoom call, but at the time of recording we haven't released the Zoom call. But I have my hands over my ears, which is a funny sight thing. But what's actually even funny? There's a subtle addition to what makes it funny, and that is that I'm wearing headphones, so by putting my hands over my ears, I'm actually,
if anything,
blocking out any excess sound and making it easier to hear you.
And we've also just finally got Zoom working after about 20 minutes of you not being able to hear me. So what a waste that would be if you just blocked your ears the whole time after all that hard work.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to talk about titles because I've realized what they should have called Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Right, light on me.
Because let's address some of the issues with this title first of all. One, it kind of breaks. I'm not comfortable with it being Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, because the first one's just Ant-Man. You know, like it feels like they established a pattern they couldn't keep up with in the second film, and now that's just the title of the franchise. And I've also seen criticisms that the Wasp is
film
probably
was bad.
The film was bad, but the Wasp is probably the most minor of the five main characters in the film.
Yeah,
and
well,
yet
I saw people
gets...
be like, actually, it could be referring to Janet Van Dyne, as she also played the Wasp, and it's like, it's very much not referring to her, though.
Which brings me to what they should have called it, Richard, because Hank Pym used to be an Ant-Man. The film should have been called Ant-Men and the Wasps.
Yeah.
Because that way you're keeping the pattern you set up with the second film, and it's cute, it's funny, and Ant-Men and the Wasps, and Cassie, I don't know. Welcome to something very new, but in a lot of ways not new at all, on the Cult Pop Show podcast. This is a new monthly series that we're going to be doing called Meeting of the Elders. Richard, do you want to explain what that is?
No. Do I know what that is? So Meeting of the Elders, up until now, has been a segment on the podcast which has been for our $15 patrons. And they have been there's been a segment where they send in their thoughts on the franchise we're covering. So it's a chance for people to, whether they have been watching along with the franchise and want to share their thoughts, whether they have some thoughts on just the titles, or maybe it's a series they grew up with, or there's a discussion topic they want us to cover. It was the segment where you could throw that in. Now, what are we doing this year?
Well, because the Meeting of the Elders segments often made episodes run long, and because you and I have become very busy boys, we worked out a way to shorten both the regular episodes and this new format, because these aren't going to be... I don't imagine Meeting of the Elders episodes will be as long as... the
Scooby-Doo episode.
The Scooby-Doo episode, for example. Yeah. So we've split it into its own series, so it'll be like after every second film franchise fortnights per month, we will do this sort of fan mail-esque episode that will reflect upon the previous 3 episodes of the podcast, or the previous 4, not including... Presumably, I guess we could reflect on the previous Cult Elders Meeting of the Elders episode as well, and basically in
case we misrepresent someone's thoughts and they want a chance to say that they didn't like what we thought of their thoughts.
So it's basically like a monthly roundup of the most recent podcast. And if you want to get involved, we currently do still have the Cult Elders tier up on Patreon for $15 a month. However, we have been discussing whether or not, maybe I shouldn't have brought this up on pod, but whether or not maybe we reduce it down again, or we add something else.
Or we increase it.
Well, yeah, frankly, you little bitches. Maybe this video version will be reward enough. Who knows? Let us know. And we'll discuss it on the next Meeting of the Elders episode. There we go. Already I've said that we're going to do it. These episodes are going to be a bit more relaxed, a bit less... I don't know, like, I'll probably leave this gap of audio in. Unless you want to edit. Yeah, that gap, sorry. Unless you want to edit it, Richard. We have also discussed that, maybe this being your little, what's it called? The, like, sidecar on the side of a motorbike. That
My
is,
sidecar.
Yeah, this being your little sidecar that you can decorate.
And I could take out all the gaps. I could have us just talking over each other the whole time.
That's
like
very
this.
true.
Like we're doing now. Like we could just talk over each other the whole time.
And it would, in a way, that would still be valid as a piece of art.
That would be, yeah.
And validate
I think, too many podcasts are like, back and forth. And, like a conversation. It's like, I can have a conversation in real life.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do if I edit the Cult Elders episodes is I'm going to pan you to the left.
Okay.
Me to the right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take out any gaps.
Okay. Excellent. Even the ones when the other's talking. So
especially the ones when the other's talking.
I'll have asked you a question, but while I'm asking the question, you'll have edited it so the answer has already started at the same time.
Well, depending on who's been talking more, in my left ear, you've asked me a question. I answered it 5 minutes ago in your right ear.
Yeah, you said no, and the question was so long, and you just gave me a one-word answer.
Yeah.
So we've got. So this is also. This is just a chill time. This podcast. Yeah. So there's going to be.
Break.
There's going to be. It's sort of. This is primarily going to be a reflection on the Scooby-Doo episode, as well as we're going to hear some thoughts from some listeners, from some cult elders on the Discord, and also their impressions. We're going to start a little new impressions leaderboard that we can check out as well.
Should we do that for every franchise? Like, hey everyone, send in your impressions of God's Not Dead. Let's hear your best Jesse and Celine from the Before trilogy.
I mean, I guess like people will be welcome to send in voice messages for every Cult Elders episode. Why can't they be impressions? Yeah. If anything, let's think of the new Cult Elders series as a monthly State of the Union.
Yeah.
If the Union is the Cult Popture podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought we could start, Richard, with maybe a reflection on how, like, a meta reflection on how the Scooby-Doo episode was formed, how it released, stuff we didn't talk about while we were in it, but now we can maybe, like, we can discuss things like the Olsen Gate and things like that. Do you think that'd be a fun way to start?
No.
Oh.
As you will have heard me say before we start the question. No, yeah, I think that's good. The one thing I want to, we said this on the episode, but I want to make very clear is that we both just like stumbled into this.
Yeah.
That this was like
we didn't even know about Scooby-Doo before we recorded. Never heard of the guy.
But there was a big movement to do Scooby-Doo for a long time, and I always said I would have been bummed if we didn't cover those 2 live-action films because I think there's such interesting talking points. But I was like, I would be quite happy for the podcast to die without ever having covered Scooby-Doo. But we did. We always thought Barbie was this thing that loomed over us, and it would be covered one day. I think when we first started the podcast, we knew there was. I mean, there would have been less Barbie movies at the time. No, they went on a break, didn't they? Anyway, there would have been about 30 or 35, I think. And I think the plan when we first started the podcast would be that we would have had a marathon 2 weeks of watching it all and getting through them all in a 2 week and then just talking about it for an hour probably. Yeah. But as the podcast evolved and then it became this thing, we had this idea over one summer to do it the way we did it. And it was a double-edged sword that then people began to expect that. They began to think that, oh, well, you've introduced this as a format now. You can't put that genie back in that bottle. And so Scooby-Doo then felt like an inevitability. And I, for a long time, ignored that and just thought, fuck it. Like, I don't care if the fans never get Scooby-Doo. And I don't like Scooby-Doo. think that there's actually that much interest in Scooby-Doo, despite what a couple of very, very vocal people might say. And then, yeah, it was literally that I said to you, have you thought about, what do you think about we should start off next year with? We started off first time coming back from a year break, we did Shrek, and that was just, we got to pick a franchise, so we chose Shrek. We did a live episode, we did the drunk episode.
Yeah, the rule was we get to choose the first. Yeah. It's either random, chosen by the patrons, but we get to choose the first franchise each year. And now 2 out of 7 times we've chosen the hardest franchises we've had to cover.
Yeah, so like last season, you think about I can't remember if there was much discussion about what we would come back with, because we did our break slightly later because of me going to China and things like that. And it was mainly that we wanted to cover The Matrix when the new one was coming out, which was over New Year's.
Yeah.
But we came back with God's Not Dead, and we did like a little silly film franchise Fortnights is over, but very obvious that it wasn't. And then just so that we could be like, we're doing FFF's Not Dead because God's not dead.
And to acknowledge this on pod canon instead of just Discord canon, someone a couple of weeks ago pointed out we should have made it Pod's Not Dead. That should have been the marketing line. That should have been what we said.
We should have been like on the episode before that, been like, right, that's it. Pod's dead, guys.
Pod's dead.
Pod's dead.
Bye.
But then, when I said, what franchise do you want to? Are we starting with anything special? And you just said, what, like Scooby-Doo? And then I just said, yeah. and it was like, you have to be clear how little thought either of us put into that conversation. You saying Scooby-Doo, me saying yeah. And then it was like, we went away, and then 10 minutes later, we had a spreadsheet of every Scooby-Doo movie and which ones required guests.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of like, are we doing this? And it was like, well, I guess we are. Yeah, it was like two friends getting married in Vegas.
Yeah, right. Like you could have been at a movie, or I could have been busy when you messaged me, and I could have said something else, and we would have never one-upped each other almost into doing Scooby-Doo.
If you just had any other idea, we would have done anything else, and we would have never even, it would have never crossed my mind, oh, people are going to expect Scooby-Doo, maybe we should do Scooby-Doo. If you just said, I'll come up to Auckland, let's do a live episode,
Do you want me to do that?
I'm going to be in Auckland for whatever, let's do a live,
okay.
or anything
Message
else.
Richard. Message received for next year.
Yeah, so next time I ask you, AJ, do you have any ideas for... I don't mean you. I'm asking you if you want to do, and bleep this. I'm asking you if you have any other ideas.
Yeah, right.
Or a live episode, or a drunk episode, or are you eating a whole thing of meatballs?
Yeah, cool. Right. So, as you say, people were expecting it, and at some point, a user on the Discord was like, just spelt it out by pure guess, was like, can't wait for the 24-hour plus Scooby-Doo episode to drop on Friday. And we were like, holy crap, it's really just that cut and dry. But not enough, it didn't get much attention, and so we thought we'd gotten away with it, like meddling kids, etc., until Guy Montgomery, after watching Zombie Island with us, logged it on Letterboxd, and Guy Montgomery's Letterboxd is connected to our Discord, and it filtered through.
Which frankly, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, connected by, just because one of our mods, who's we're going to hear from later, Dan, just liked his reviews. It was so like, that was like this like the the famous Concorde planes that the big one blew up because 3 years earlier someone need a part of a machine that broke something that they didn't know about it. Three years later a plane crashes, so it was literally like,
it's insane just how much these things that had so little thought put into them just completely changed the course of my summer. That it was like
I thought it was going to be the summer of George.
But like Dan just thinking, hey, I'm going to follow Guy Montgomery. Any objections? And it was like, oh, okay. Weird that you would even bring that up. But But whatever, and no one really said anything, so they just followed. So everyone was getting.
I mean, surely more blame
gone.
lies with Guy for logging it after we told him it was a secret.
Thought it was a secret, yeah.
But anyway, I saw the humor in it, and I was like,
I did not.
I was like, this is funny. And then some other people are speculating, and I just thought it was a fun. And we were sending these screenshots of the Discord to Guy, and he was loving it. And I was like,
and
you know
Guy
what?
was like, "You are so far beneath me. I don't know why you think I would care."
No, not at all. But I don't know. I think if we were a bigger podcast and we had one of those insufferable Discords where there's just too many people in there to ever communicate with anyone, which I know a lot of podcast Discords are like that. I think if that was the case, I would revel in any speculation. But it's because we're this mid-sized show, and it means that we can't we're too close to everyone that things feel a lot bigger. If we were really big, who cares if people figure it out?
People feel comfortable DMing us and being like, "Hey, just wanted to ask about this Scooby-Doo thing. Is this something?" And we're too polite, we're too friendly with these people to not reply.
So the message of this first Cult Elders episode, an episode that is basically a podcast version of what we're just saying now, is be more afraid of us, please. Like, please fear us more.
Yeah. But so there was, and I guess, like obviously people in the Discord, the active members of the Discord are going to know this whole story anyway, but it's fun to get our perspective on it, I think. If not, this is the kind of fun that happens on the Discord. If you're not in it, go join. Or if you made an account and then haven't used it in like 2 years, come back.
Yeah.
But the
link in the show notes.
Yeah. So when this was all happening, I was infuriated. I was when the speculation was posted about the Scooby-Doo episode, just apropos of nothing. I was like,
kick him from the Discord.
Yeah, it was so accurate, based on nothing.
Well, not based on nothing. It was based on Barbie. It was based on the format of the show.
Yeah, sure. But it wasn't like. Well, yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, it was based on Barbie, but it was like we hadn't hinted at doing this or anything like that. Like there was no reason to think that it was. And part of me thinks maybe we shouldn't have done Scooby-Doo as the second one.
Right.
Because then, and then drop another bumper episode, but it's even longer. See how they react. But I just, for me, it was like, God, all our hard work down the drain. I don't even want to release the episode anymore. because I have explicit confirmation that people want it.
Yeah,
and now I don't want to give it to them. And also that it was like because there was the thing that got, and this is like a stupid thing. I know I'm being a dick, and I know that these are dickish things to think, but it was like, because it was up until we started doing it, I had every intention of never doing this. I had no intention of ever doing it, and the fact that someone so accurately guessed what we were doing made me want to be like, well, you're not right that I was always going to do this, because I wasn't.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, I am, so you are right. But I just don't like other people being right, even though I had no stake in it. But usually when someone else is right, it means that you have to be wrong.
Well, you weren't wrong in this case.
I wasn't wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong.
So we tried to lay the breadcrumbs for a Mary-Kate and Ashley episode, which is another Discord inside joke, because a couple of years ago there was hot debate over whether or not that was a franchise, and we were saying it wasn't, and people... because it's not. Some people agreed with us eventually. I remember, I think Brent just assumed they played the same characters in all the movies and was just baffled as to why we didn't consider it a franchise.
Well, but then it was revealed that Brent was thinking of episodes of a TV show.
Yes, that's right. And so we talked to, we changed our Discord names. We announced in the Cult Elders that it would be Mary-Kate and Ashley. And I think a few people were like, I don't believe you, but I think overall we convinced people that there was I'm happy with episode.
I enjoy a like you're not fooling anybody kind of joke.
Yeah.
That like the saying Pod's dead and then turns out Pod's not dead. That's funny to me. That's very funny. I'll be like, hey, we know you're doing Scooby-Doo. It's like, well, we're actually doing Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, and then they'll just be like, no, you're not. Like, I find that funny. So I was able to now get humor from the fact that people had cotton on to what we were doing.
Nice. Well, all of that being said, filling up a lot more time than I thought. We got two things on the agenda that I would like to get to for this episode. Which would you like to do first? Should we go to?
Don't tell me what they are. One or two. Let's go two first. I think the fact that it was going to be the second thing you said intrigues me. And I think that, just to flip the script in your head, I think we should do the second one first.
Okay, I'm going to send you something then.
Oh, you should have warned me.
Here we go. This is something...
I didn't come to this podcast to receive things, AJ.
This was something that we did on the Barbie episode that we never did on the Scooby-Doo episode, and I kept meaning to bring it up, but in 27 hours and 40 minutes, I never thought to bring it up. So I thought, what better place to do it than here? Here is the link.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we are on BuzzFeed.
We did do this a couple times.
We did a couple times of Barbie. I guess Barbie lends itself more to this. So it's a BuzzFeed which Scooby-Doo character matches your personality the best. Because we kind of figured it out which characters we were ourselves, but we never really did the... Like,
we didn't do it scientifically.
Yeah, the scientific format that is BuzzFeed asking us to pick which is our favourite talk show host to find out which Scooby-Doo character we are. All right, so the first question is pick a talk show host. We've got Jimmy Kimmel, Ellen DeGeneres, Steve Harvey.
Well, actually, AJ, since we are recording video, do you want to share your screen?
Oh, do I want to? Let me just do a quick... yeah, I could probably share my screen. That's probably not too... Yeah, I think it'll be okay.
When we did the Family Guy reaction video for the Cult Elders, which is another thing you can check out if you're in that tier, I was so scared that I was going... Because at the top of my bookmark bar, I had a folder that's called Scooby-Doo Audio. And so I was like, blur everything that's not Family Guy just in case.
Can people see my background?
No, I'm just seeing the...
Oh, okay, good. Maybe no one can, or maybe everyone can. Who knows? Okay, so pick a TV show talk host. We got Jimmy Kimmel, Ellen DeGeneres, Steve Harvey, James Corden, Jimmy Fallon, or Dr. Phil. Some pretty slim pickings here, gonna be honest.
Yeah. I'm going to pick Jimmy Kimmel. I went to the taping of Jimmy Kimmel, although he wasn't hosting.
I'm also going Jimmy Kimmel.
No, you got to pick.
No, we can end up being the same character.
Okay.
Pick an activity. Reading, watching Netflix, going out to eat, playing a sport, having a spa day, going wakeboarding.
Having a spaghetti day.
Oh.
I'm going to go going out to eat, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to go watching Netflix. What is your sign? Etc., etc. I'm a Cancer.
Aquarius.
All right. Pick a condiment. Ketchup, ranch, barbecue, mayo, mustard, or... I don't really care for any of them.
I'm a barbecue sauce guy.
Awesome. I'm going to go ranch.
Wow.
Choose a drink. Water, pop, lemonade, milk, coffee, beer.
You know, in some states, they actually call them Cokes.
Yeah, absolutely. All of these drinks are Cokes.
Yeah. I like what we would call old-fashioned lemonade, and Americans just call lemonade. I'm going to pick that. I fucking love that. That was one of the best things about going to the US, is it just being so ubiquitous.
I'm going to go with water because I drown myself in water.
Oh,
when
I'm such a slut for water, but I do.
Goes down
I'm an even bigger
slut
for lemonade.
It goes down my chin, my beard is just sopping wet, and my shirt is just drenched whenever I drink water. Which of these houses would you want to live in? If you're not watching the video, there is just 6 different mansions. One of them's got a pool. One of them's got like a sort of warm aesthetic. One of them's got like a green aesthetic. One of them looks like a castle. One of them's like a very minimalist modern.
It's like a
thing.
huge tiny home.
Yeah. And one of them is like out in the woods.
Cottage.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the
I'm going to go with the warm aesthetic.
I'm going to go with the one with the pool.
Okay. Choose
a dog breed: Golden Retriever, Australian Shepherd, Pug, Siberian Husky, a Dachshund, or a Shih Tzu. Fun fact: the Australian Shepherd, I believe, is also called the Blue something, and that's what Bluey's based off.
Oh, the Blue Heeler, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what an Australian Shepherd is. Maybe it's not. Why would it have two names? Caught on camera getting it wrong.
Australian cattle dog is Blue Heeler.
Okay. I've been told that I am a cross between a pug and a golden retriever before, so I'm going to go pug.
I have been told that I'm pug ugly, so I'm going to pick a golden retriever.
Okay. Choose an appetizer: maple and brown sugar bacon wrapped hot dogs. A very specific. Mozzarella sticks, veggies and dip, barbecue meatballs, chips and salsa, or strawberry salsa, Peter, or
Peter,
strawberry
the salsa,
strawberry shortcake kebab. Something I've never heard of. I'm going mozzarella sticks.
If it was chips and guac, I would go that, but I'm going to try these maple and brown sugar baby.
Okay. Pick a random food. It feels like we just did that, but okay. Caramel popcorn, French fries, chocolate melting cake, raspberry cupcakes, ego waffles, or honey roasted peanuts. Now it says pick a random food. Does that mean it's not based off whether or not you like the food?
I'm going to pick honey roasted peanuts. I was just having a conversation with someone at work about honey roasted peanuts. She had a bag of them and was like, man, these are so good. And I was like, yeah, I love honey roasted peanuts. And she did not offer me any.
Wow. I'm going to go waffles. Lastly, pick a colour. We got blue, we got purple, we got green, we got yellow, we got orange, and I'm going to say turquoise? Teal?
I'm going to pick purple. Purple's probably my favourite colour.
Okay, I don't think I have a favourite colour, so this is quite difficult for me. I'm going to go teal because it feels like it's the outside.
It's the wacky one.
Yeah. All right, I got Fred.
Ugh. I got Scooby-Doo.
Wow! I thought I was Scooby-Doo.
Well, you're not. You're Fred. So get the fuck over it. Get the fuck over it. It doesn't tell you why.
And a great thing for podcast content. There's nothing else to read. It just says Fred. It doesn't describe Fred.
Doesn't even have his last name.
And on my screen as well, his head's cut off by the formatting of the image. So there we go. All right, that's what we're going to do for the... I thought that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, let's do that
20 minutes,
first
so I'm
thing
glad.
you wanted to do.
Alrighty, so we of course asked you guys, the cult elders, to send in some voice messages. We've got some voice messages here. I might play them off my phone, Richard, and if whoever's editing this can download them.
Yeah, which will probably be you. But I can maybe edit later ones.
Okay. All right, so this first one is from Vinny from Cult Elders. Here's what he has to say.
Hello, AJ and Richard. Vinny here. Wanted to start off my experience with Scooby-Doo just by remembering that I always remember it being on TV, whether that being on Cartoon Network with reruns of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, or eagerly anticipating the premiere of What's New Scooby-Doo. I always remember it being on. My earliest memories of fan devotion for it will probably be the bumpers leading up to the Cartoon Network premiere of Zombie Island. That was one thing where it felt like it was must-see TV, that I needed to watch this film because of how important it was. And I still love that movie to this day. It's still one of the best ones, and I will always see it as one of my favorite movies I saw growing up. Now, whether or not the Hex Girl's appearance in The Witch's Ghost would influence my taste in women in junior high school, and adulthood, I am not at liberty to say. But maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Just looking at the list of the movies, I seen that I was consistently watching all of them between Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island and Aloha Scooby-Doo. So they had a devout fan for a little bit until I eventually just stopped caring to keep up with the yearly releases, which is funny. The next one I got into would have been WrestleMania Mystery with the WWE, only because I'm a dumb wrestling fan who likes a dumb sport. How dare I love scripted television? But I will say that peak cinema would have been John Cena stopping a boulder with his bare hands as his theme song is blasting. That is peak cinema. Martin Scorsese, get off your ass and watch actual cinema. In terms of watching the show, the only other one I got into was Mystery Incorporated just because I heard it was the best one. And indeed is. I suggest it to anyone who wants to watch a really good Scooby-Doo show and has a very funny way of dealing with Scrappy's past in a brief little cameo with him. But other than that, I really haven't kept up with any of it outside of just like seeing random YouTube videos like, hey, this latest one's pretty good, or man, what has happened to Scooby-Doo because of Velma. I mean, for every Velma, there's gonna be another reboot of the franchise, so I don't really care about it. I'll just not watch it, because they will just reinvent the characters for another show in the next year or so. But oh my fucking god, Scoob was terrible. I know it's formulaic of a franchise, but you guys had to try to mess this up with the dated Simon Cowell cameos to just the bland voice acting from just named actors. And it was one of those things where I couldn't believe that a franchise that lasted this long could have a low this low in modern times. And look, you can say a lot of things about the tax write-offs at Warner Brothers. Maybe it was a good thing that the Scoob sequel was canceled. Sorry to anyone that worked on that, but I was never going to watch a sequel to Scoob, and I think we're better off for it. I mean, maybe our sin is suffering through Velma, but hey, I'm not going to watch that either. But hey, maybe someday if I'm a father, I'll probably let my kids watch Scooby-Doo. It'll probably be still around, and I'll probably sit there and enjoy it and remember all the times I used to watch it in the living room with my mom as she would watch the old episodes with me and just kind of bond over that. I really like the family aspect of the series, even though sometimes it can get a little dicey, latex Velma, or just the drawings of Daphne at certain points. I mean, I'm not complaining now, just that probably had an impression on me as a child. Another crossover I highly recommend was Scooby-Natural, the crossover with Supernatural and Scooby-Doo. I think it was a great way to like age up the animated characters and having a PG-13 version of them and how they're having an existential crisis about the monsters being real, and that means there's a very real possibility of them dying. Seeing these innocent characters made from the late 60s turn into just panicky modern people who fear everything was beautiful. Highly recommend Scooby-Natural. In terms of my horoscope for Scooby-Doo Monster, I think it is hilarious that I am the sea beast of the Aztecs from Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo. That is great. I am truly the monster of Mexico. Alright, time for me to attempt impressions. I can't believe I'm paying to do this and be humiliated. I mean, most men do that on a regular basis, so who am I to judge? Here's my Scooby. Wait. Okay. Rog, where? Oh, that was so bad. Okay, Shaggy. Like Zoink Scoob. Do you have any weed? That is so bad. And for my final impression, I will do Muttley. Because that is basically how I sound when I laugh too much at something way too funny. Stupid. I'm actually laughing. Anyways, thank you guys for your time. You guys are amazing for making a landmark episode once again. Talk to you later.
Awesome. First of all, my favorite part of that was when he said, I haven't really kept up with the series since after like detailing this like intimate lifelong journey with Scooby-Doo. What do you reckon about his impressions? What should we score them?
I'm going to be 100% honest here.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear them on Zoom.
Wow, so it's up to me then.
It is up to you, and whoever's editing the video thing of this that's got the Zoom audio,
Yeah,
you'll have to actually insert Vinny's audio in there. I heard that he was doing Muttley.
yeah.
And and based on your reaction, I'm happy to give that a 3.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about the impressions leaderboard. Why did we make it 3? It was like a binary 1 point or not for for the thing, so it was out of 3, and then we were like, oh wait, it should be out of more than 3, and then you were like, oh, what if each impression is out of 3? And I've been listening back to the episode, and I say, yeah, or out of 10, and it's just sort of like, oh yeah, well, let's do it out of 3, and why the fuck isn't the impressions leaderboard out of 30 rather than out of 9? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, Richard. I don't know. All right, I reckon a 3 for... Can you write this down? A 3 for Vincent's Muttley. I would say probably a 1.5 for his Shaggy, and let's go a 2 for his Scooby. That's what I think.
Okay, one moment. I'm actually going to be writing this in the same notebook that I took down my Scooby-Doo notes on for the middle portion of movies where I did that. So that was what? Scooby was 2, Shaggy was 1.5, and Muttley was 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we get to the next one, I thought I could read one of the messages that we got in the Cult Elders section. This is from the Ghost of Colonel Pre-Regard, which I think is a Scooby-Dooified version of Pre from Michigan, who said, I'm actually a big fan of Scooby-Doo. I grew up watching Reluctant Werewolf, Ghoul School, and Zombie Island. Wow, old school, okay. I really liked the character dynamics of the gang and feel like it kind of has a timeless feel. It's a group of quite different individuals who are great friends despite their differences. I'm always up for more Scooby-Doo and any variations of it. I watched Velma through and enjoyed it despite some rough bits. I'd even kill for a crappy CW version of Scooby-Doo in the vein of Riverdale. Also, I met my girlfriend of 3 years on Hinge, largely due to having a picture of me dressed as Daphne for Halloween as my first picture. That is beautiful.
Which is their display picture on Zoom as well,
Yeah.
presumably, unless there's multiple pictures
on Discord.
On Discord, sorry.
Yeah. Nice work, Pre. That's awesome. That's such a cute story, and what I liked, it reminded me of something that happened to me once, where toward the end of high school, I tried to write sort of a Skins-esque web series about high schoolers, and I based the characters off. One of them was based off me. One of them was based off my friend Ben, and one of them was based on my friend Joe, and one of them was based off my friend Duncan. And someone was reading over the script once and was like, "What's up with these characters?" And I was like, "Oh, well, they're based on me, Joe, and Duncan." And he was like, "Why would you, Joe, and Duncan all hang out and be like this impenetrable trilogy of friends?" That's a good point. And that's like a piece of writing critique that I've taken on since, is like, it needs to make sense that your characters hang out. It can't just be convenient for the plot of the thing you're writing.
Yeah, they need to have some sort of blood ritual. Some sort of blood meridian.
Oh, okay. Is this a reference to something I should be understanding?
Blood Meridian. The I don't know who wrote it. Some fucking it's like Cormac McCarthy or something.
Okay, cool. This is Mark Spector all over again.
Yeah. It's the Mark Spector bit again. It is a Cormac McCarthy book. Yeah.
All right, now I've got a we've got a message from Dan from the Discord from Cult Elders. Here is their message.
Hey, Richard and AJ. My name is Dan from Hawaii. Long-time listener, first-time caller, long-time shit poster on the Discord. Very excited to have my voice be played on the Cult Pop Shirt podcast. And I just want to share my thoughts on Scooby-Doo. First things first, I don't have much nostalgia for the live-action films. I think they're fine. I think they're fun. But, even though I saw them in theaters at the time they came out, I don't have that much adoration for them. I do have that nostalgia and adoration for the original TV show, which played on Boomerang on Cartoon Network, and I watched it all the time on Saturday mornings. I think in particular, just anytime I see a door gag, a door chase gag, I just immediately call it Scooby-Doo. And Velma looking for her glasses, I literally make that reference all the time. In fact, in one of my novels, I even made explicit reference to Velma looking for her glasses. So I guess you could say it's ingrained in my personality. I have one haiku review I'd like to be read. Well, I guess I can read it myself.
I was about
It's
to
from
say.
2020 when I hosted one of my movie nights for Scooby-Doo 2002. My haiku review is Best Foley Artist, Perfect Cast, and Some Great Gags. Hydrocolonic. That is my haiku review. I want to expand on the first thing. Best Foley Artist. There is one scene where they're hiding in a suit of armor in the amusement park ride when the bad guys come and look for them, and Shaggy farts in this suit of armor, and it is just impeccable Foley artistry. It is such an amazing fart gag. I don't find fart gags that funny, usually. This one is fantastic. Just go back and listen to it. I'll send a link along with this email so you can play it. It's a very bad recording, but it's just great. And Scooby does a great laugh afterwards. Just fantastic. Also, did you know that Scooby-Doo 2002 passes the Bechdel test? Yeah. Isn't that wild? Absolutely crazy. So I didn't write or prepare anything I was saying, but I'm very glad that cult elders are being represented audibly. A little bit upset that all my cult elder thoughts on Passport to Paris were not going to happen because it's not a franchise in your eyes. But I'm very excited for the rest of Season 8. And aloha also means goodbye.
Very nice. I can play the... should I play the fart Foley?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a YouTube ad in the way. Sorry,
Okay.
guys. Sorry
Well,
about
I'm
this.
gonna give Dan didn't explicitly do.
No, he does.
impression.
They've sent another impression.
Okay.
All right, Shaggy armor fart. That is a pretty good piece of Foley. The first thing I want to say is that I think it's really interesting. Dan talked about referencing Velma losing her glasses in a novel that they wrote, and
I've read one of their novels, and I
thought it
can't remember if
sucked.
it's in that one.
Where was that going?
No, I was trying to remember if it's in that novel.
Right.
But I can't remember.
One
or
thing,
maybe it was such a subtle reference that went over my head.
Well, I just thought
But
it was
it makes
interesting
more
that
sense to be in that one than the other one. But anyway,
I thought it was interesting that it resonated with something that Andrew Todd said on the episode, that he uses Scooby-Doo ideas when pitching things because they've become generic shorthands for other things. All right, here are
like a Scooby-Doo ending.
Yeah, exactly. Here are Dan's impressions attempt.
All right.
This is my first attempt, Dan from Hawaii's first attempt at a Scooby-Doo impression.
That's really good.
Sorry if that was too loud. I'm recording my AirPods. Let me try another impression of Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo! No, that wasn't very good. I apologize. just that first laugh though. I think that was pretty solid. I think that's a pretty good Frank Welker, whatever impression. For to use that. Thank you very much. That has been my good impression and my bad impression. Thank you very much.
Nice. I mean,
First
I think
attempts.
that's
Well, I guess second attempt if you played my recording before this one.
I think that's a 3-point Scooby, to be honest.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any more points because he didn't attempt any others. But... All right, and finally we have got from should I call them their email name or their Discord name? Their Discord name is Bliss My Do. So let's listen to.
And what's his email address?
Levy says.
And mother's
funny?
maiden name. No, we don't need to know their email address.
Okay, this is Bliss My Do's message.
Salutations, Ajay and Richard. This is Bliss My Dog, a.k.a. Ian. Today I am going to be sharing my thoughts in the wondrous enigma that is the Scooby-Doo film franchise. Yes. Anyhow, let us begin, for I have quite a lot to say. First of all, allow me to address the elephant in the room. Why, you may be asking yourself, am I using a synthetic voice? Well, the reason is simple. I do not want my true voice to be heard in the podcast. I will now be silent for a moment, so that Aj and Richard can reflect on this matter of privacy.
What do you think about this matter of privacy?
I couldn't tell you were playing it. I cannot hear any audio
Scooby-Doo
whatsoever.
in Zombie Island is certainly freaky deaky. Like
I think maybe you actually need to
Jinkies.
send this one to me so I
Fred
can listen to it
attempting to
properly.
pull the head off the
it still
zombie
playing?
and succeeding while seared into my puny childlike mind. I also enjoyed Witch's Ghost and Onion Invaders
There's nothing.
when I was a
checked to see if
little
you'd accidentally
one.
muted yourself.
Oh, and Cyberchase was both a great PBS show and a great Scooby-Doo motion picture.
Martin, stop.
The 2002 live-action film is I also want to make sure you know that I think you are heathens for saying such blasphemous things about Scooby-Doo, Wop Shabbat, and the Boo Brothers. It is a wondrous work of art. Don't you knock it?
My impressions of Scooby-Doo. Yoink! Yoink, Shaggy! Ruby, Ruby, Roo! And now I'm gonna do Shaggy. Like, Scoob! Scooby! Like, where are you, Scooby? Uh-oh! Shit! And now for my last impression. Everybody's favorite Hanna-Barbera guy. Could you give me this thing, Martin? I'm not playing tug of war with you right now. Come on. I'm recording this thing. Like, really. Okay, I'm gonna do Yogi Bear, and I guess I'm doing it while my dog is pulling on my arm. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yogi Bear. Hey, boo-boo, what you gonna do with that picnic basket? I don't know, Yogi. What am I gonna do with that picnic basket? I don't know. Yeah. Ow, that really hurts, Martin. Stop it. You're... Ow! Ow! Okay, do whatever you want. Okay, there you go. Have fun with it.
So
I'm
not sure what this will look like in the edit, but for my experience with that was that you said, okay, I'm going to play this now. Then I heard 3 minutes of silence, and then I heard Scooby-Doo. And now I'm going to do Shaggy.
Well, I can summarize.
And then I heard the Yogi, the
Yeah.
spiel about Yogi, and then I heard the impression.
Nice. Well, so Bliss has employed, first of all, text-to-speech in order to convey their feelings about Scooby-Doo. Text-to-speech that was a lot of words in it, and even hearing it, I couldn't really tell you what they were saying. However, I did enjoy whenever the word Scooby-Doo came up. Bliss threw in a Scooby-Dooby in there to make it extra long, and I thought that was pretty funny. I would say that they're Shaggy and Scooby, as entertaining as they were, I'd probably give a 1, but I'd give maybe a 2.5 for their Yogi Bear.
Right.
So what is that? Well. What does that land the Elders scoreboard on?
I had one job, didn't I? So this is Scooby, Shaggy, and Yogi. So 1, 2.5. So Dan is on 3, Vincent is on 6.5, and Bliss is on 4.5.
So Vinny wins.
Vinny Winnie.
Wow. And with that, how about, Richard, we adjourn the first ever episode of Meeting of the Elders.
I do believe we got an email.
That was an email. They were all emails.
Oh, I thought... Didn't Mike send us an email?
Did Mike send us an email? This is all staying in. Oh, did Mike send us a Discord message?
That's right, yes.
Yes, okay. Apologies, Mike. I'll get to that. Right.
I've got it here. You've said enough of these. I can do one.
Okay.
Mike said, here's what I have to say about Scooby-Doo. Let me know if this is stupid. Mike, this is stupid. No. Mike said I can change it. Mike said, I was a huge Scooby-Doo fan growing up. I watched reruns of the old episodes all the time. I especially loved the team-up episodes, be it Batman or Don Knotts or the Harlem Globetrotters. In my college film back in 2000, I wrote a scene where one of my main characters admits to finding Daphne attractive and the other guy laughs at him for being attracted to a cartoon character. Later, a stray dog wanders into the record store where they work, and as a callback to mock his friend one more time, suggests they give the dog a Scooby snack. Wow. 2000 to me had really had his finger on the pulse of clever pop culture references. Anyway, as far as the movies go, the only one I've seen is the Kiss one because I had to review the DVD when it came out. That one was pretty fun.
Nice work.
That's really funny. The thing about like finding Daphne attractive and oh my god, that's so lame that like it's a cartoon character. Like, how can you find that? It's a conversation I've had many times, and I'm so fascinated by people that are like, they're animated, and it's like, so like it's not like I'm going to pursue a romantic relationship or that I think that is possible with this person. It is like a character has been drawn to be found attractive. And it's like, yeah, I'm not even saying that it's that, because there's also the idea that it's like, you know, well, real people don't look like that. And it's like, yeah, but they've drawn this person to be attractive, especially like, you know, maybe not necessarily Velma, but especially like, you know, when it comes to like anime and things like that, it's like the character is sexualized, and it's not, I'm not betraying the medium to say if I say that this character is attractive.
Yeah, right, I get you. Well, that's all good. I agree with you, and more people should talk about how attracted they are to cartoons. Richard, shall we adjourn the meeting here then? Shall we bang the gavel? Is that what people do?
Yeah, and then
meetings?
if we missed anyone as well, we can
we'll see you in
let
4
us know,
weeks.
and we'll see you in 4 weeks. Also, let us know what you thought of this format. Any suggestions for improvements? We would love to hear.
Yeah. And one more addition to the improvement, I say no post-credit scenes for Meeting of the Elders.
Wow,
episodes.
I just got the thing open.
Well, I mean, it'll be recorded on video, and that feels... fuck it, why not? Just do it.
Oh, well, I've just shut the window!
Thank you for listening, everybody. If you enjoyed this, you can get involved with the show. You can head on over to the Discord, which there'll be a link to in the show notes, and of course, if you want to be part of the people whose thoughts are read out... Is Mike a cult elder?
No,
we opened it up to all patrons. Head on over to patreon.com.
And you know, Mike was the only one that took us up on it.
Head on over to patreon.com/coldpopture if you want to get involved. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at coldpopture, or send us an email at coldpopturemedia@gmail.com, which is especially relevant for these cult elder meetings. Richard, it's been a pleasure. Meeting adjourned. And we're back for a post-credit scene.
Okay,
We
Control Shift T. Here we go. Fun little Google Chrome shortcut there.
Yeah, I
for you.
use it all the
Do you know
time.
about that one?
I
Yeah,
use it all
fuck
the
yeah.
time.
Also, if you shut a window, shut your window, and you had like 20 tabs open, Control Shift T will reopen it with all those tabs. Like if you open Chrome and hit Control Shift T, it'll open all 20 of those tabs.
So this is a segment at the end of each episode where if you donate $5 or more over at patreon.com/ColdPopture, you get to give us something to talk about in this, the post-credits scene. Richard, who's it from and what is it?
All right, today's one comes to us from Joshua Cole, who writes, Dick Dastardly and Muttley are teaming up with the Grinch and Krampus to stop Christmas forever. I'm just going to now see if there's more lines to this.
That's not a question, Professor.
So, you must assemble an elite team of 6 Christmas film heroes to stop their devilish plan. Actor count, not characters. You could have 6 different versions of Santa, right? Gotcha. So, one thing that is interesting, though, is the Grinch is getting a sequel. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. But it's how the Grinch lost Christmas. The following year, he fucks up and loses Christmas. But yeah, so and when I say it's getting a sequel, I mean the original picture book is getting a sequel.
Yeah.
So elite team of 6 Christmas film heroes. We'll take 3 each.
Yeah, let's do it.
Or should we do like a draft pick?
Okay.
So my first pick, I'm gonna go with Kurt Russell's Santa.
Oh, interesting. I guess like grown-up Kevin McAllister from Home Alone's probably pretty fucking psychotic these days.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go with, for my second pick, Kumar.
Right, from A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to go for my second pick. Let's go with the Rankin Bass scary Yeti monster from one of the Rankin Bass stop motion animated films.
Right on. And for my last pick, I'm going to go.
Is Dick Dastardly a Christmas character?
No.
Why are the villains not all Christmas characters?
For the last one, I'm going to go with Rowan Atkinson from Love Actually.
Nice. And for my last one, I'm going with literally just born Jesus.
From the myth that is
from reality, Richard. Would the 3 wise men be one draft, or would they have to be separate?
Yeah, maybe that's your 3. Is the 3 wise men?
Okay, yeah.
Take them down with frankincense.
Let's do it. Cool. Cut.